Hello YouTube family, James Green, some short series shenanigans. Wearing one of my neat t-shirts. I love this funny stuff. People always ask me, they're like, where do you get these shirts at? A lot of times they're like on Amazon, or you know, you see them floating around on Facebook and click to the link or whatever. But anyway, today's video is an unboxing video serving two purposes. Number one, because I haven't opened it yet, then I've removed the address label. This is something that a fellow YouTuber has, Stan Skoski, and I was fortunate enough to finally be able to come into a position where I was able to get one of these. Thank you to Mr. Handmore, Handmore's Tool Shed. He has the group machining, or used machinist tools for sale. It's a pretty good site. Facebook group is what it is, and there's lots and lots of stuff out there. For the most part, that group polices itself. There are the occasional individual where, let's say, a deal goes bad, but my personal experience, because I've bought and sold on that site, I've had no issues. Now, there are the occasional where someone will want to buy something and things don't work out. All I can suggest on that is, you know, use your own judgment. Use PayPal. Don't send a money order. I'm a big firm believer, unless I know the person. You know, there's some guys I've dealt with you know, a check, but I know them. I know these guys. So, but other than that, it's good. So this serves two purposes. Number one, for documentation purposes, because it went through the U.S. mail, believe it or not, and it was insured. And so, so I want to look at it. I haven't unboxed it, and that's what it is. And plus, I want to, you know, hey, something neat to show you guys. So thank you again, Mr. Handmore, for the awesome deal. And so I'll kind of leave the camera there so you guys get a wide angle, and let's get started with this. Alright, so we made sure that, you know, he boxed this up, and as you guys know, I've had issues with stuff from, I'll just say, all the carriers. FedEx, UPS, US Postal Service. And the only thing that I can see was, it looks like where it was dragged maybe by them, you know, a little bit there. But other than that, everything looks fine. He marked it fragile and pointed up, so they kept it up. And he sent lots of stuff through the mail, so if you guys get stuff from Mr. Handmore, he has a lot of industrial tooling and stuff like that. He does have other stuff. He has a lot of different collets. If you guys are into cat tooling, like Cat 40, Cat 50, and even NMTB stuff, or oddball collets, he's got it. Gear hobbing stuff, setting rings, he's got a boatload of that stuff. So, and he is always shipping stuff through the mail and other places. So I'm pulling some of this off here just because and for those of you that are worried, I'm on top of my granite plate, yes, but on top of this right here, I got me one of those, there's a rubber pad underneath this, so it's not on the granite plate. So there's a rubber pad, there's a piece of oriented strand board or wafer wood on top of that. Then I have this Kevlar blanket that you guys see. You can get them from Harbor Freight, and I use those just to drape down the sides because I have inspection tooling underneath. And so it's, trust me, it's very well protected. It's right now, with everything that I've got going on, good place for a video. Plus, it's kind of the only open area where I have at the moment, if you will. Maybe I'll win the Powerball, speaking of. You know, when this shows, depending on, because today's Wednesday, and depending on who may or may not win the Powerball, we'll see. Okay, I'm going to push this back just a little bit. Cut that. I'm going to lay this down just to cut this tape. So far everything looks good. Gently, easily. There's some more. Packed very well. I'm going to cut this tape here. So far, everything looks okay. All right. Oh yeah, box. Very, 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 very good. Okay. Bubble wrap. That's a good sign. And we'll get that later. More packing and stuff. Packed very, very well. Anything I've ever gotten from Mr. Hanmore in the past, it's been packed very, very, very well. So, padded. That's sure, lots of bubble wrap. Okay, I'm going to cut some of this because all this cardboard is going to go in the recycle bin anyway. Just so it's easier to handle and I'm less likely to be closer to it here. Okay. Bottom of this open. And what I'll do is I'll stand it up. Okay. All right. Okay. Slowly getting it. All right. And I've got my hand on it just to make sure. Wrapped very, very, very well, I might add. Lots of padding on top of, and lots of sticky tape too. But that's fine. So there we go. Slowly, here's a box with some stuff in it, which I will set that up there. Oh, looks familiar, doesn't it? Huh? All right. Now, my understanding, there's supposed to be some documentation with this, and I don't know if he has shipped it separately or not. I don't see it, unless it's wrapped up in, I don't know, or unless it probably, I heard something fall, that's probably what fell over there. So, here you go, and ever so careful here. Look familiar? That is shifted a little bit. I don't know what's up. Looks like something may have shifted in transit a little bit, or if it's this, if they've adjusted this, I'm not quite sure. I'll have to open it up and take a look. I don't feel any breaks in the granite or anything, but it appears something may have shifted in transit, and we'll take a look at it. We'll open it up, but it is a Squaremaster. Let's see. All right. You know, you pack everything as best you can, and you know, I've talked about it before. Okay, and here is it came with a nice MAR indicator, tenths indicator. They're actually half tenths, and it looks like it's probably got about a, no, it's a tenths indicator, and it's got about a 30 thousandths travel, and that will fasten onto. Now there was another package, it sounded like it fell over there, which is lovely, which is why I have these. These are handy. All right. Well, I thought I heard something fall. Let's look at the other side. nothing else in the packing here that I may have missed. So far, packed very well. Let's see if something else fell. This is the joys of, yep, there it is. There's the book. Okay. I knew there was a book there. It's just hard to see. Alright. So, oh, gotta love it. Okay. And here's a manual that came with it. So, we're going to go through this, find out what the issue might be, and this actually, right here, this little knob, and it's got some surface rust because of where it was located. This actually screws into whatever desired hole you need, and then it fits in. But it looks like the granite may have shifted a little bit, and that's just a matter of pulling a couple of items there. Let me set this over here out of the way. But yeah, it came with the manual, operating instructions and everything, so that's pretty good. I know I was definitely be able to pull these out because it's in a 3-ring binder and be able to make photographs for anybody that may have one of these and needs a manual. I can definitely pull these out. And so I read this booklet 1/9 of 90, and so I'm guessing some employer probably said read the manual and then initial at the end, which is smart. That way, you know, anybody operate, and we'll go through and read the manual, definitely. And it looks like we can pull, you know, some cap screws there. Take a look at that. We'll go ahead and get our Allen wrenches here. Take a look at it. Grab both imperial and metric. We'll start off with imperial first. And let's see, that looks like about a 1/8 inch perhaps. Real common. Yep. And we'll go through and clean this up, like I said, because of where this was located. You know, in an area of the United States where it can be rather, things can rust rather easily. This should just pop right off here. Take a look at, because I can see down here in the bottom it looks like the granite plate has shifted slightly in shipping, and from what I can tell everything looks okay. So that's all part of this video. Okay, oh okay, I get it. Set the manual over there. Very easily lay this down. Gotta pull that too. 3/16 perhaps. No, that one's loose. 5/32. Yep, okay. So some of these were a little loose. And it's marked top and bottom here. Slide this little plate off, this little bar. And this thing was last inspected in, there we go, June 30th of 2015. There we go. Okay. Slide this off. Ah, piece of cardboard. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Okay, this is an easy fix. You can see where it slid over. So this is an easy fix and kind of a pay on camera. Everyone wants to know what do these look like on the inside. Now, I've looked at several of these in the local area. There's a gentleman that has one, or has several, and he bought stuff from government auction, and he stored it outside in it just had a lean-to, and everything was covered in dust and dirt and grime and grit and grease, and I'll just say this. He was asking a decent price, which was fair, but when I went and looked at it, and they had been sitting out in the elements, it had recently snowed, they were covered with snow, and when they were sitting over there, he's like, yeah, here they are. He's like slapping them around and moving them, and one of them he like picked up and moved, and he was bringing it to me, and he dropped it, and I heard the granite plate break, and he still wanted to try to sell it to me, and I'm like, no, it's, you know, that's the main thing. So you can tell this granite plate has slid over a little bit, and we're going to loosen this one at the top here, and I'm going to very gingerly slide it vertical again. Now imagine what happened is this all got jostled in shipping, which I expected stuff like this in shipping. I mean, you know, unless you hand carry something yourself, trying to get this moved around, it's going to be fun. And that glides real smooth. Kind of use it to help pull the granite over, if you will. It's a little stuck. I don't want to pull that all the way out, so I do get it loose. It just needs to slide over. There we go. Pull the bottom one out. And I can tell there's dust in here, and we'll blow in back here and clean it up. And what I'll do is while I have this off, I will clean it up with some standard granite plate cleaner, which I keep handy and right here. So it'll get a healthy dose of that and cleaned up. Just really, really careful. I mean, it's a solid piece of granite that's in there. There we go. Okay. All right. Always have an air hose handy. So there we go. I'm just going to position this where it's relatively even, side to side. Tighten that back down a little bit, and it should, oh yeah, like butter. And here's the handle on back. Oh yeah, that thing is very, very well balanced, clean, and now you guys kind of know what the inside of it looks like. And we'll go through the process of checking it out. That looks pretty pretty level there. I'm going to go ahead and put this back on. So this is kind of a autopsy of a granite Stairmaster, or yeah, Stairmaster, no, Squaremaster, if you will. We'll get a couple of these back in here. Tilt it back just. Actually, I'm going to lay this thing on its back so I can get these started, because it's kind of difficult right there. This thing is solid. It's a solid aluminum cast. Is what it is. And The granite looks in very, very good shape. Like I said, we'll clean it up and we'll apply some granite plate cleaner just because we want to. It's like while you have it apart, kind of doing what we used to call in the military PMCS, preventive maintenance checks and services. Give it a good once over. And of course, before I put the cover back on here, I'm going to read through the book and make sure that there are, I'll read through the manual and make sure there's not any, hey, periodically make sure you check X, Y, and Z. Now obviously, this thing I'm going to have to recheck everything. I'm not a laboratory, so I don't have to, you know, as far as trying to get it quote unquote recalibrated, I guess I'll have to sit through and figure out and read and adjust and do, and you know, just a good overall general visual inspection, if you will, is what it's going to require on my level, and possibly trying to spot things that may or may not be loose. It looks like there's a loose cap screw on this one side over here at the top. Matter of fact, yeah, it is loose. So I'm definitely going to have to, at the top up here, there's two cap screws, one on each side. This one is loose, so it's going to have to get some attention, if you will. And so I'll just kind of snug that so the granite doesn't move. It slides up and down. Whoop. Yep. Yeah, I'm going to have to go through and figure out what it is hitting on. All part of, you know, making sure it's still serviceable, and it is. That just needs a, there we go. What I'll have to do is go in here and measure and make sure this is equally spaced side to side, top and bottom. And we'll do that. You know, we'll go through it, take a look at it, and everything appears to be in good shape. So, there we go, model VSQ-18. It's got about a 15-page manual, and we'll look at it and make sure everything is as it should be. Unpacking, installation, specification, general description, design features, calibrating foot pad setup and calibration, inspection application, maintenance, and certificate of warranty, which is long gone. So these are actually made by PMC Industries out of Wycliffe, Ohio. I'm not sure whether they're still in business. They may or may not be. I'm sure you viewers will comment. So we'll definitely, while we got the cover off, we're obviously going to have to go through and do some adjustments, because we all know that the U.S. Postal Service, even though it says fragile and up, things still get moved around. So like I said, so far everything seems okay. There's no major damage. I did fully expect to have to do what I'm doing now. Matter of fact, I planned on it whenever I got it, just because, you know, we guys know how things get messed up in shipping. So other than that, and there goes the bubble wrap. So there we go, pretty neat deal going on here. We'll definitely give it the once over and figure out how to, without having to slide the whole, we may have to slide that whole mechanism out at the top to make sure those are tight properly and get everything cleaned up. And there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll definitely be doing some upcoming videos with this, just, I guess if you will, playing, because I got some stuff that I'm going to check. I've checked it with my other way that I have ability to, that Stan Shad on HKW, go check his channel out, Stan Zakowski, Barzy Industrial. He's got one of these, so he's the one. It's his. Stan, it's your fault that I ended up with one of these. But thank you again, Mr. Hamor. Thank you very much. So until we get this cleaned up and inspected and put back together, that's kind of where we're at right now. And hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching James Green Short Series Shenanigans. Remember, take care of yourself and your family, because at the end of the day, you and your family is all you got. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.